Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, let's talk about Python numbers. In Python, there are three main numeric types: int, float, complex. As I mentioned before, in Python, you don't need to declare the data type for a variable. Python will automatically identify the data type based on the value assigned to the variable. Let's see that quickly and then we can move on to the next item. In Visual Studio Code, I'll set up some variables, assign them values and check their data types using the type method. Let me create a x variable and assign 1 for it, y equal to 12.55, which is the float, z equal to 6 plus 2j, which is for complex. Then I'll write a print and type method to see the data type of x variable, and I'll repeat the same step for y and z. All right, let me run it. See, we have got the result as expected. First one is int, float and complex. So now let's see the numeric types one by one. Int. When you say int, it could be positive or negative number, not a decimal. So I'll set up some variables here: x equal to 1 and y equal to random number, z equal to negative number. Again, I'll print the data type of this variable. Let's see that now. I'll disable the above codes and I'll just keep the int related code only. So same thing. Let's see that. Let me run it. Before that, I'll clear the terminal. See, the result shows int. So it should be a positive or negative, but it should not be a decimal. Now let's see the next one, which is called a float. When you say float, it is similar to int, but it should contain one or more decimal numbers. I'll just same thing. I'll just set up some variables for float: x 1.1, y 81 point something, and z is a negative float number. And I'll just print the data type of this variable, and it shows a float as expected. And I'll tell you one more thing which is related to float. We can also use the word e to indicate the power of 10 in float. See here, I'll create a variable called a, and I'll set the value like 12e1, right? So if I try to print the data type of this particular variable, it should display float. And also I'll print the value of this a. As I mentioned, e indicate the power of 10. See, now it shows the data type as float. I'll just use the star to separate that particular section which talks about e. Now let me print the value of a variable. See, we have got the expected result. Let me assign a negative value for this float type, and we'll see the result. We'll try to print the type method for this negative value. It will show the result as float as expected, and it will show the value. Let me quickly run it. See, look at the output. It shows the type as float and it shows the result in negative. It shows the result as a negative. Yeah, that's it. That's it about the float. Let me clear the terminal, and now what I'll do, I'll just take a copy of bit code from the above for complex, because that's the next one, right? So I'll quickly take a copy and scrolling down, paste it. Then I'll just disable the above code. Now let's talk about the complex. So it is a number that has both a real part and an imaginary part. If you look at the complex number, it will be written with a j, and that J represents the imaginary part. Physics, mostly physics, electrical engineering, and signal processing fields often use this complex number. What I'm doing here, I'm creating a variable, assign some positive, negative, and random complex values. See, I have run that. Look at the result. It perfectly shows the type as complex. Now let's try to do the type conversion. Of course, we can do the type conversion. Let me do that quickly. Let me create a variable x equal to 1, y equal to 12.5, z equal to 7j, int float complex. First, I'll print the data type. I'll print the data type of the respective variables. For that, I'll just use this print and type method to see the data type of x, y, z. Let me clear the terminal. See, now it shows the data type of the respective, it shows the data types of the variables as expected. Now let's begin the type conversion. I'll create a few more variables. A equal to int of a equal to float of x, which means I'm converting the data type from int to float. So this is how we should convert the data type in Python. I'll create a few more variables for the remaining thing. So b equal to int of y. Right now y is a float data type. Now we are converting that to int. And the last variable before that, let me add a commands. So from float to int. So the last one is complex to string. I'll create a new variable and then I'll just type a string of z. Right, that's it. Now let me print. First let me print the values of the variables which are newly created, and then we'll see the data type. I'll clear the terminal. Yeah, this is the value. Now let's print the data type of a, b, and c variables, because we just converted from int to float, float to int, complex to string, right? So we have to verify that. Let me use the print and type method to see the result of these variables, and I'll just add I'll just add a star to yeah. So that's it. Let's see. Yeah, first is int float complex, second the convert type is float int string. So we can do the type conversion in Python. Let me disable the unwanted code, because now we are going to see random numbers in Python. So in Python, we don't have a random function to generate the numbers randomly, but it has an inbuilt module called random to achieve the same. For that, I'm importing the random module, and I'm going to display the random number from 1 to 50. So this is how we should generate the random numbers in Python. Let me clear the terminal and I'll just give it run. See, first time I've got a 46. Let me run it once again. Second time I've got a 12. Okay, that's it for today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.